All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Without further ado, I'll call the meeting to order here at 9:07 and jump right in on the agenda. The first item is Dow Street, Robin Hood Drive extension, rename Linden Street to Robin Drive and renumber accordingly. I think we've done that. We did that on March 3rd. We recommended Scarlet Lane. I think there was just 3 of us at that point. I don't know. I'd have to reread the minutes, but I read them this morning. But anyway, and then I have a sheet. There's a Dow renumber sheet map that was quite a while ago when we went through the Robin Hood extension, dated 6/20/19, and it has all the proposed numbers on it, and it has plenty of numbers available, even if you add additional mobile homes. For example, as you take a right on Dow Street and off of Linden, and on the left there's 2, 4, then there's a big lot that has 4 numbers, 8, 10, 12, 14. But between that, there's 6. There's a 6 available in case, something squeezes in there. Past that lot, the next one is 20. So there's actually 16 and 18 available. So I think it has room to grow if need be. And on the other side, it goes from 5 to 13 to 19 to 23. So I think this numbering scheme, if you went with this, that map, I think that would be fine. And there could be mobile homes or additional units added and numbers available without a disruption of the entire street.
That sounds good.
So can I just ask then, so when you're looking at that, I think I have the same one, it was dated June 20th and 19. It goes 2, 4, and then it goes 8, 10, 12, 14, all in those, it's all written on the one top of mobile home, but I'm assuming that those are all separate lots of somehow in there. Is that right, Dave? Are you looking at it? It goes 8, so it goes 2, 4, and then 8, 10, yeah. 12, and 14 are all in like one general area, and then it goes bounces to 20.
Yeah, well, I was told, I think Doug mentioned this, that the owner contacted him and he was planning on putting 4, he had 4 sites. It's all one property because that's the way we have it. It's definitely all one property, but, it has multiple mobile home sites on it. And I think Doug said there's going to be 4. So then I gave it 4 numbers.
That is correct.
Information.
Yep. Yep.
But there's more. He could put 8. He could literally put 8 or even, and we have numbers for it. We have 6, 16, 18. He could put 7, up to 7 on there, and we would still have numbers for that.
Geez, don't tell him that.
No. And I guess part of my question is, so obviously when I send this stuff out, when I notify the state, I notify like Janet and assessing, and all the appropriate players. I'm not sure. I guess I got to figure out, because if it's all one, I conclude map and lot information with everything. So it's like one address is tied usually to a specific lot and map entry. I guess it would just be. I guess I would just use all the same lot and map. I guess that's what it's going to be, right? It's all the same. It's the same piece. It's just the parcel is only one piece. It's not subdivided.
Yeah. I'm going on to. GIS here. I have it as map 103 lot 6. It's one lot is according to our assessing.
Okay. All right. I'll know what I'll do. I'll just bounce it off of Kenny Lynn at the state and just get guidance from her. I've been trying to do that anyway, so I can avoid having to write correction letters. So before I do anything, I send them to her, get her blessing on it. So what I will do when we get done today, I will send. Do you have like a color copy of that map by chance with the writing on it that you could scan and send to me, Dave? The one I have is black and white. It's not super easy to read. I just want to find a way I can get it up to Kenny Lynn without distorting it any further. But
I have a black and white one as well, but I could make a colored one. Mine's pretty easy to read, so maybe I'll try to just send this one along and see if it's
perfect. Okay, thank you. All right, well, if that's the case, so what we have to do now is just wait. I can get the numbering squared away while we wait. I'm assuming we need to agree on a name, one of the 2 names we have, and then get it to the board for approval.
Yeah, I think, we went through this before. I think we adopted Scarlet because it was in line with the Robin Hood type theme that is out there. I got no problem with either one. They meet, they both meet our ordinance.
So why don't I do this then? I will make a motion to.
Wait a minute. Before
okay.
we make a motion, didn't we made a motion and renumbered this on March 3rd, and it passed unanimously. If you look at our March 3rd minutes, which I didn't print out, but I looked at them online, we already did this. It's just a matter of going forward to the select board. And
Okay.
and the reason I have been hesitant to go before the select board, except like last night where people are building lots, they need addresses. It's more of a, okay, this needs to be done. So I think as long as people on this street are contacting you and saying, we need this to be done, then that's the reason we'll move it forward. That's correct, right?
Oh yeah, because we need to have. I don't have voluntary change request forms signed by all these people.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
What I'm asking is I wanted to hold off on some things given the current situation. If it's like kind of go on an as needed basis, if it's kind of, I wouldn't go as far as an emergency, but it's something that needs to be done. Like the ones last night, people are looking to get building permits, people looking to get addresses. They're building a house. They need to get, Unitil hooked up and so forth. They need a physical address. Or if people are on Dow Street saying, hey, you really need to change this. We're getting, we're having issues with it. That's what I thought it was. Then that's the reason we'll bring it forward. Other things we can, kind of hold off on until, a little bit further along in the current situation here.
All right. So you fully. Then obviously we're intending on having a public hearing then on.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure when I get that one. I guess I should probably be there, huh?
Not such planning on it, but we have to. That's If we're going to change a name, then we're required to under our ordinance. Yes.
Good enough.
So do we want to move that forward to the select board? Are people contacting you, Justin? You had said at the last meeting, the couple of things that people keep calling you about. You hearing about this?
Yeah, it's really only a couple people. I've never had anybody from Robin Hood Lane Extension get a hold of me. It's just a Dow Street and Dow Lane confusion because it's a Dow Lane over in Kensington. So it's causing deliveries and mail. From the one lady that calls, I can't remember what her name was. Doug. Yep. She's called me plenty of times. Probably 10 times. Not with just giving her. It's not her voicing a complaint. It's more of her just saying, "Hey, I've had this happen again, and then my delivery's lost, and it's in Kensington, and she understands." I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago. She understands where we are as well in the current state of affairs. And I said, "Well, we're working on it, but right now, unfortunately, we're kind of in the middle of something unprecedented." But now, I think I have the time with everything's kind of settled out at this point. So I really would like to get this squared away for sure, especially this road where I have had a vocal out. Now that lady's been pretty vocal and showed up to one of our meetings and everything else. So
I agree with making people's lives easier. I'm just worried about the other people who are potentially going to be affected and changing their address during a pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't see any reason not to. I don't know changing an address if it should really have a big deal on. I mean, I got to be earlier. We were all like scrambling all in 1,000 different places trying to do different things. But I think now that we're getting back to regular business, this has been hanging out there. I mean, I have some consent forms signed from people like on Linden Street. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that Brett Burt was really putting a lot of time and effort into, and part of it included some of the Dow Lane stuff because some of those houses out on Linden Street have like Deep Meadow addresses, and some have Linden Street addresses, and it's a very convoluted area to try to find something out there. But I think as far as the addresses changes goes, I mean, I notify I know you've been doing this a while, but I notify everybody on their behalf. So I changed their address with everybody except their like personal bills. So if they had a credit card bill or a mortgage bill, I've been pretty good. Kathy was pretty good being a real estate person. I know that, we answered a lot of questions as far as deeds, and deeds do not need to be updated. They can be updated. If they choose to update your deeds with current addressing, they can. However, if they choose to, they could wait till they sell their property and make those changes then. So really and I give them all, I'm going by when the state allows, because they only push out every 4 to 6 weeks. It's a minimum of 4 weeks notice, so they get at least 4 weeks notice before any changes take place. And usually, especially with a road name change, it will be a lot easier, because what we ran into on Park Street was when you're actually changing, if I went from 64 and now I'm 72, that definitely caused a lot of issues, because it was I think the street name change with addressing changing is a lot easier, because it's all encompassing versus just trying to onesie twosie. So.
Yeah, I don't want to be there are so many people who are on the brink of one more thing and I'm going to lose it, and I feel like that. So it's such a hard thing to do right now. I know we have time. I know, I'm not doubting that you've done your diligence. You know that this needs to be done. I know it needs to be done. I'm just reluctant to add one more thing to anybody's pile about changing a credit card bill. You know what I mean? That's my only pushback.
Fair enough. Thoughts from anybody else? Certainly we can table all this stuff for a couple months and look at all the 911. Do like Dave said, maybe we just stick to doing the emergency stuff. And as people come in and there's new lots coming in, if we need private roads done, maybe that's what, I'm fine with that. Obviously some places have to get done, but what does everybody else think?
I'm inclined to think, go with Molly on that one, because unless it's it's maybe causing packages, getting to Kensington, or is it Kensington has a Dow?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's more of, Amazon or UPS or something like that. It's not safety. It's not emergency response. I just see if it absolutely doesn't need to be done, I'm not, I think we have the flexibility to wait a month or two, and see what happens. Just, I don't know. I tend to be in that camp as well.
That's fine by me. Yeah, we'll pick up. So any existing, that'll be good for me to know. So when people call, so we'll just say that we want to put a time frame on it, 2-month moratorium, and we're not going to do anything until.
How about we revisit it in our June meeting?
Okay.
Our regular scheduled June meeting.
This woman, and I feel for her because it is so annoying, and especially now, but at least she knows what's happening, right? If all of a sudden we change everybody else's address and there are, unforeseen problems, I just. Oh.
Yeah, no problem. That sounds good to me. Everybody else is cool with that? Just table and the rest of you. Okay, Mike, what about you? You cool with that?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay.
So we're talking about just Dow Lane or Dow and Linden?
I would say anything that's not required because it's a new road, a new development, then we should stick to not changing anything that was existing. Let's just hold off on anything existing until June.
Okay.
Okay, but if you have volunteer consent forms from the folks on Linden Street, we can go ahead with that. I have a handful, but I don't have all from YMCA all the way to the end. I definitely do not have. Yeah, we'll move on, because that's the next on the agenda.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing on the agenda is renumbering Linden Street from the Exeter Cemetery across from the YMCA Powder Mill Road intersection of Linden Street and Kimball Road. Well, we talked about that. I think it was at our March 3rd meeting, or is that what it was? And we decided, I looked at it, and if you're going to renumber Linden Street, all you really have to do, and we voted on this because you weren't there, Justin, and Captain Monk wasn't there. It was myself, Doug, and Ann. And we decided to move it forward to renumber Linden Street from Vintage Way. I think it's Vintage Way or Vintage
Way.
Yeah,
yes.
From Vintage Way to Kimball. So what we realized, I did the math in the GIS, that there are numbers available, and they seem to pretty much follow the ordinance from the start. There are a couple of ones that are a little funky, but they're still in order. They're not it goes from 8 to 6 and then back up to 10 or anything like that. So I have maps right here. So we decided to do that from Vintage Way, because after Vintage Way we have 76, 78A, 78, goes 78A, then it goes 78C, then it goes 78D, then it goes down to 78, then it goes to 78B. So, it's all over the place there. So we knew we had to correct that. That's on the radar screen, but that happened March 3rd, and I didn't want to do anything about it, at this point, because I didn't see it as an emergency situation. But there have been people contacting. I thought the folks that contacted you were at 30, like by school or in the thing about multiple buildings on the site with sharing the same address. I thought that was the issue. And if so, we have, when we get there, we have 18 right before the School of Science and Technology, the SST. We have 18 the house before that. Then the SST is 30, and there are multiple buildings on it. Then it goes to 42. So we have ample numbers. We have 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 32, 34, 36, 38, and 40 available to renumber those structures. So if they want to renumber those structures, then we could certainly accommodate that without having to go through a change of anyone else. You follow me? That's what I thought. I thought they were reaching out or something about having the same number on multiple buildings.
It wasn't there. It wasn't even in that area, though. That's the problem. The area that the problem was, let me just get some of these. I got to get rid of these layers real quick. Hold on a sec.
Or that's a problem in the on the state audit.
Yeah. Well, part of it is, if you look, Linden Street goes, so 93 is on the corner of Deep Meadow. And before that, why the address number's not on here. So before 93, it's not on, I can't see my map. Before 93 is like 98. It goes or 95. So it goes 95, 97, 93. Or 95 it must be, because 97 on the other side. So it goes 95 is on the other side of Deep Meadows. So it would be on the town side of it. And then 93 is on the other side. And then it goes to 97. And what happened was, so between 93 and 97 Linden Street, there are 4 mobile homes that have Deep Meadow addresses. Yep. And those addresses were ones that they wanted to include and make it a Linden Street address, because we would never think to even go down Linden Street beyond Deep Meadow to find a Deep Meadow address. And then on the other side of that, the problem was we have a 103 and a 103A. So it's up further. There's a lot of issues out there on those streets.
Oh, no, those are all understood. We know that, and that's why we voted from Vintage Way to Kimball, because that would solve all that. That vote solved all the 93, 95, 97, the 4 Dow Street, the 2 103s.
Okay.
It would solve it would solve all that. So that's why we voted to do that. We just haven't moved that forward because that was done on March 3rd, and we're like, okay, we need to hold off given the current situation in a global pandemic world. I felt like, not bringing it to the select board at that point, a lot of people weren't even meeting. So is it something that, people are really, I don't know. I think we're in the same situation as the last one where people might really want it, but there's going to be a lot of people that don't know this is happening until they get a letter, and maybe we don't put that stress on them. Yeah,
I agree. I think just to be consistent, I think we should I think we shouldn't be doing renumbering. I think we should just we're doing a moratorium on any updates to existing roads or numbering until at least the June meeting, unless it's required by some new development or a house that needs an address that's, so they can get their electricity and stuff hooked up. Why don't we just stick to wait till June and readdress everything? And if they call, I'll just explain the situation to them. I'll do the best I can with it. I think everybody right now is going to be pretty understanding with what's going on. So
yeah, okay, agreed.
And that makes sense.
Okay, so maybe we number 3, finalize South Street, River Street extension renaming, renumbering. Is that the same?
Yeah, let's see what hold up on that too.
Okay. This one, I don't know, about 25 Hampton Road, recent conversion from single family to 2 condo units, need to confirm unit numbers. That is something that the committee doesn't need to do. That's up to the building inspector, and the deputy fire chief, according to the ordinance. You can assign new numbers to places. Is there a question that you have to the committee on that?
No, actually, I'll thank Barb. She sent me she's been keeping a running list of what we've done and what we haven't, what is still pending. And if I remember, this is the Seacoast Family Promises 25 Hampton Road, correct?
It's not Seacoast Family Promise, their primary. It's the next structure into town, which was 25 Hampton Road. It was a single family home that got converted to 2 condominiums. So we don't really have any numbers available. So we could do A and B.
You can have 25.
That's right. We have those condos behind 25 Hampton Road. You know, the 8 units behind.
Oh yeah. Okay. That little private drive that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So they are 25 A and B. So 25 is the single family home, or the 2 unit now. So we can't go 25 A and B because it's already taken.
All right. I'll have to run it by Kenny. And I know I did one down further. We ended up doing like the same side. It could have been like 37 and then 37 rear. But it's not going to be a front and rear probably. It's probably a left and right, right?
Exactly. It is a left and a right.
Okay.
I'm sure they probably don't like to do that. I mean, the right way to do it would, I hate to go down this road, but would be to rename that right of way that goes, give that street a name, not 25 Hampton Road A and B, but give it a name, like we did with Acorn.
Yeah.
The other one. But that would mean changing 8 addresses down there, and those people are not going to be happy about that. But that would be the right way to do it. So maybe we talk about that at the next meeting.
Yeah, because it sounds like there's 8 addressable structures down there, right?
Exactly. Would that make more sense to give the right away a separate name?
Yep. And well, that would free up 25 A and B too. So
that would give that building 25 A and B, which would be the right way to do it. So maybe we just hold off on and talk about that.
Yeah, let's hold off. But what I'll do in the meantime, though, let me send Kenny Lynn an email on that one too. Let me just get guidance from the state before I can throw out what our thoughts are.
Yeah.
That we were thinking of naming that private way, giving it its own name, readdressing those structures, and then and I'll just see if I'll get her buy-in, but I'll follow up on that one.
But I mean, if she comes up with a better or a solution to the front building, 25 something and something, then that's fine too.
Okay. Yep.
So I don't think we want to change the 8 units down behind. And
no, I know what she'll say. She's probably going to say we should probably be renaming that road, and we should be renumbering Hampton Road all the way out to the end of the town line. That's probably what she'll say, but I know exactly.
That can be part of the discussion. I mean, everything's, we'll have to look at it. I didn't look at Hampton Road in its entirety. Before the June meeting, I'll look at Hampton Road. I'll see what issues, because just like Linden Street, remember we started down the road of trying to finagle it in to have less impact, but we realized the scope of the issues out there warranted renumbering a pretty good section of the road. So I'm not saying that's where we're going, but I think we should be open to any because if we do this and we rename it, I like the driveway renaming, but then that just buys us one number, and the next person next door adds another, then what do we do? So I think we'll look at it holistically and have an open conversation when we reconvene.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm good.
All right. How about, on to minutes, approval of the minutes. I've read the minutes from March 3rd, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 3rd, submitted by Barb McAvoy.
I have a second, Justin?
Yeah, I guess second.
All right. Moved and seconded because I know Molly was not at that meeting. And so any further discussion, amendments? I looked at them. I'm fine.
No, look good.
Right. Hearing none. All those. Oh, I have
Roll call.
to do. In favor of approval of the March 3rd, 2020 minutes, Deputy Chief Monk.
Yes.
Deputy Chief Pizon.
Yes.
Doug Eastman.
Yes.
Molly Cowan.
I'll abstain.
And an abstention. So moving on 401. April 20th. April 20th, 2020. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of April 20th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Doug Eastman made the motion. Justin Pizon seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Deputy Chief Monk.
I'll abstain. I wasn't there.
Okay. Deputy Chief Pizon.
Yes.
Doug Eastman.
Yes.
Molly Cowan.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will vote yes. I don't think I did on the other one, so I will vote yes on the other one too. Okay, so we've successfully passed all the minutes. Is there any other business?
Yep, just one quick thing. I had a call from the state regarding some numbering at Wiley Creek, and I was hoping, Dave, could you just provide me what we're going to assign for a street number for that new building that's going up? It's up. But they're doing the interior hasn't started. They were doing, but it's buildings erected, and they had some questions out there. And I was hoping it's going to be. Me and Doug spoke about it yesterday. It's going to be an even number. But if you could just
okay, this is the deal with that. We've talked about this extensively. We at the E911 when they they have a 90-degree turn. You come off of the what was it? Ray Farmstead Road?
Really great.
No, Way Farmstead Road. Okay, you come up Way Farmstead Road and you take a left onto Willie Creek. Okay?
Yep.
And then their plans show Willie Creek, a roadway going in, and I'm looking at them right now. I don't know how well you can see that right there. It comes and it goes up, and the road continues this way, okay? And this is a 90-degree, comes in at 90 degrees. The committee felt that we're not going to, Willie Creek Road is going to go past Building A and terminate down at Building D. They came back and said, well, maybe we're not going to build Building D, and we want to name Willie Creek. The kind of comes up and takes a 90-degree turn and goes down to B and C. We were not comfortable with that. We say, it's an obvious intersection that's been designed that the road goes straight. It doesn't go to the right. So you either have to reconfigure, soften the intersection or something like that. They did not do that. So we said, give us another name for that street and you can name that. They have not done that I'm aware of. And so I don't have a number for B because we weren't comfortable with that. If we are now, I'll send this around if we are, going to change it. But that's the status. I did not give that a Willie Creek number because it's not on the Willie Creek Lane Road that the E911 committee approved and accepted.
Okay. Yeah, I think Doug has maybe some insight on that. 'Cause I don't know. Well, we spoke about it yesterday. The building looks like is it facing, well, the back of it looks like I can see it. I don't know if the setup is exactly what's on those plans. When I can see the building from the road, I have to ride out today to look at it then, put my eyes on it.
Do you want to get together? I'd like to go with you, Justin, we can go there. We'll take separate cars, or I can ride in the back of your cruiser. Or we can take separate cars. We can go, I'd like to go to Dow Lane with you.
Okay.
And I'd like to go to Willie Creek with you and get a better understanding. Now, I agree with Dave that per plan, they need to come back to the planning board and submit a new plan showing, because I believe building D on the far right is going to be eliminated and the road will continue as Willie Creek, but that's not what's depicted on the plan. So so what we'll do is we can talk to the job superintendent, Clint, over there, and and get him to get somebody to make some decisions on what the heck's going to happen.
Okay. Who's the project manager? Not Clint's the general contractor. Who's the building? Who's the
Clint? Shaftmaster is the developer.
Yeah. Who's his right hand man? Who's John's
Clint?
right hand? No, it wasn't.
Well, it's Black.
It used to be Steve Leonard, but
Steve Leonard. He's not involved anymore. So my only contact is, Clint.
I know. Yeah, I've met Clint plenty of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a name. Let me pull a name. And I have the name of the person it's John's representative who's overseeing the whole project. That's not Clint. Is like the builder contractor.
The construction guy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can take it offline, Doug. I'll give you a buzz when we're done, and I'll meet you out there. We'll take a look at it. We'll come up with a plan, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
And just to know where we're at on this, the committee recommended, and then the select board accepted, naming Willie Creek up from past A to D. They did not name Willie Creek taking a right and going B and C. So if we're going to give B a address, then we need to come to the committee, make that recommendation, and then go back to the select board.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I think unless they show a plan, like Doug said, we asked them that, we said, if you're going to eliminate building D and eliminate that road altogether, then it'll automatically be one road. And even though it goes around a 90-degree turn, it's still one road. So we're okay with that. But they haven't done that. So until they do that, we have to follow what we voted on.
Yeah,
would that have to come back to the planning board, Dave?
I wouldn't think so, because if it's just a matter of elimination, something like that can be done administratively, because it's actually lessening the impact. I mean, if they're taking building D and putting it somewhere else, absolutely. But if it's just a matter of eliminating something, people do that all the time. Like, I'm not going to, I'm going to shorten this, and that's usually an administrative approval.
I think the last time I heard, the plan was to eliminate building D and make building C a little bit bigger or adding more units. So that would be adding to the footprint of the building. So definitely probably have to come back to the board.
Well, it's all in the regs. I mean, just basically it starts is submit a plan on what you're doing, and then I will review it and determine what the process is to that change.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the guy is Dick Alice. Have you guys had anything with Dick Alice?
Yeah, I know Dick. Yeah.
Okay. I think he's the one I'd want to go to before, or maybe I should just give John a call. Maybe we can talk about it after.
Okay. Yeah, I'll meet you out there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And then finally, just one thing. So I guess where we're at, it sounds like, is we will meet on an as-needed basis. If something needs to be, new right-of-way or something, but barring any as-needed, we'll reconvene at the June meeting to discuss these outstanding items and where we're at and how to move forward at that time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay, anybody else? Anyone want to have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.